A quiet place. Have you ever heard someone say, "I need this vacation to end so I can go home and get some rest"? That's pretty typical. After all, we try to cram in as much as we can in the short time we have. Between driving in traffic jams, the uncertainty of arrivals, staying in unfamiliar surroundings, and the changes in nearly every routine we have grown accustomed to while at home, it is a wonder we even find time to relax. It is fair to say in this resort town which I now reside, we get a good number of visitors that pass through our midst in the summer months, and really all year round. If you are one of those visitors who are listening, we're grateful that you joined us. It's hoped that you got the much-needed rest from the grind of day-to-day life that has a way of wearing us down. Through the ages, vacations and leisure have been often reserved for those of privilege. Author Cindy Aaron wrote a book on the history of vacations called Working at Play, A History of Vacations in the United States. She studied the transition of the vacation in the United States over time from something people did for their health to what we have today. Early on in the 19th century, doctors, seeing the stress brought on by overwork, would recommend those of the elite and privileged class to get away for their health, having overworked their brains. She noted the perception of tension between work and play, the temptation of idleness that could lead to sin as taught by the religious leaders of the day. Europeans would quip that they would work so that they could go on vacation, whereas in the United States, we go on vacation so we can go back to work. Think about that for a moment. At this point, this musing could go on in many different directions. Perhaps a short discourse on the Sabbaths of the Old Law. Maybe a scientific rendering of why the body needs rest. Throw in a few tried and true methods of relaxation techniques. Let's not forget the dissecting of words in Hebrew and Greek to exegete a text or two on rest. All these might be interesting, but those and others might be a bit wearisome and tending toward an overexertion of an already tired mind. So let's take a more tranquil path. How about a few simple questions? Are you weary and tired? Is your weariness the kind that comes from too little sleep or too much work? Do you slog your way through the day in longing anticipation of the next nap, a good night's sleep, or a day's off? Sounds like a barker for Professor Grifter's Traveling Medicine Show, doesn't it? When was the last time you felt refreshed? The Apostle Paul wrote to the church at Rome a very telling point to ponder. In Romans 15:32 he says, "So that by God's will I may come to you with joy and be refreshed in your company." Paul uses this same word, refreshed, in the same context in other places. 1 Corinthians 16:18, 2 Corinthians 7:13, and Philemon verse 7. Paul isn't referencing the location or the amenities offered by these places. He's talking about the people. They brought refreshment. Think about that for a moment. That isn't to say that places and locales can't give us the refreshment we need. Surely, Jesus knew this when he said to his disciples, "Come away by yourselves to a desolate place and rest a while." For many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. Mark chapter 6 and verse 31. But Jesus also said to them and to us, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." Matthew 11:28-30. The sweet psalmist of Israel, David, though he was pursued by his son Absalom, and rejected by so many, and beset by many thousands, said he was able to lie down and sleep at night, for the Lord sustained him, in Psalm 3. It is hoped that the precious time we get to spend together in worship and fellowship, both as members of the local congregation and as valued guests, is a time of refreshing to the soul. Not just because we are here in the beautiful North, but because we are Christ's and He is ours. Be of refreshment to those around you. Think about that now and in the days and weeks and years to come. And those are our thoughts for the day.